Welcome everybody. Now this is a video that I did not think I would need to make, but it should go without saying, but clearly it doesn't go without saying. Violence of any form is unacceptable. Threatening violence is also unacceptable. Also, encouraging people to do away with themselves is also unacceptable. I've had some subscribers email me and say that they have seen threats of violence against Sue Smith. They've also seen at least one person encouraging her to do away with herself. If you see any of that in my chat, please will you screenshot it and email it to me. My email is always in the description or in my about page. That is totally unacceptable. And not to mention illegal, okay? Also, report it to YouTube. This is me. I will not put up with violence or threats of violence in my chat. If you threaten somebody with violence, you will be banned from my YouTube channel. I've said from the beginning that I do not wish any harm to come to Sue. Alright? Talking about Sue Smith here. What she did was not right in my view, but nothing justifies violence or threats of violence, and I will not tolerate it here. The saga started with Sue and Stef saying on their live that another YouTuber had illegally requested a birth certificate. That was false. It is not illegal to request a copy of a birth certificate in California, and that is what kicked everything off. Okay, because they did something, or they accused another YouTuber of doing something illegal, does not give anybody the right to threaten them with violence or threaten violence to them. All right, that is absolutely wrong. See this fire here. You will know the wrath, my wrath, if you threaten anybody with violence on my channel. So what they did, in my view, was wrong. What they did, I believe they could have stopped everything in its tracks if they had made proper apologies and if they had withdrawn their statements. To this date, they still refuse to withdraw their statements, and that's on them. That's not on me. Even though they refuse to withdraw their statements, which means that the statements are out there, they then have to wear the consequences of those statements being out there. I can tell you that if you falsely accuse somebody of doing something illegal, you might well be facing a legal action for defamation or slander. And now, I don't know anything. I've got no inside knowledge. I'm not a lawyer to any of the parties in this situation, but I can tell you, yeah, forest, it's a jungle out there. And anybody who makes allegations that somebody else has done something illegal and puts it on their platform, they could well be on the sticky end of legal action. Red Riding Hood. In Australia, the statute of limitations for a defamation action is 6 years from the time that the person who was defamed came to know of it. And so when things are left out there, there could still be legal consequences. And all I can tell you is that in this situation, I'm very clear, I'm not giving any legal advice, but in this situation, I would not like to be acting for the two ladies who made that statement and refused to withdraw it. I would not like to be their attorney if a defamation action issued. Sacred ibis. I'm thinking what this is, what this represents. This is the door to YouTube, and what they did was they cracked open the door by going after another YouTuber. So I want to be very clear. Although I disagree with what they did, I disagree with what they did subsequently, in no way, shape or form am I encouraging any type of violence. See, there's me. I'm a very strong, independent person, and I will not tolerate that kind of thing on my channel. Now, people say to me, well, you shouldn't be talking about it because you're just prolonging everything. I have every right to talk about it because the statements that these people made are out there and they refuse to retract them. So I have every right to talk about it. I've never encouraged violence, and I do not encourage violence. I was looking at a difficult situation, and I was trying to see the good in people. I honestly believed at the beginning that Sue and Stef had made a mistake with that false accusation, but I don't know. Every day that goes past that they refuse to withdraw it, and Stef the altar nerd even said, I stand by my words, or I stand by what I said. People might consider it less and less looking like it was an accident. People might think more and more that it was something deliberate. I also think that striking my video and then trying to use that to demand that I take down all content relating to this matter. There was people thinking that they had more power than they did, trying to use the power of their big platform. At that time, I only had 700 subs, and nobody knew that I was a lawyer. Nobody knew that I am a lawyer, that I am an IP lawyer. So that was wrong. And I can tell you what, if the copyright case against me had ever gone to court, the fact that that was being used to try and get me to take down all of my other videos about the topic, even those that didn't show any of Sue or Stef's material, that is what the court would consider to be coming to the court with unclean hands. You go with the flow. If you want to make accusations against people, like accusing me of copyright infringement and striking my video, you better make sure that your hands are clean, because if your hands are not clean, what's going to flow is not going to be good. I did respond formally to that strike, and once I responded to the strike, Sue did eventually remove it. Yeah, I'm just getting from this that she thought she was very powerful and she could use the magic of the YouTube copyright strike system to get what she wanted. So I stand by what I said. I don't agree with what they did, but by the same token, nothing that has been done is anywhere near as well, it's not really comparable, but nothing that has been done justifies any violence or any threats of violence, and that will not be tolerated here. When you resort, and I don't know who this was, I didn't get copies of it, I was just told it third hand or second hand by somebody, a couple of people who had seen these threats. When you resort to making such threats, obviously you're much worse than people who were not threatening but were making false statements. Gifted, fertility, creative, growth. There's no growth with violence. There's no fertility with violence. Oh look, there's my rainbow. See? My username, Rainbow Pyramid. Yes, I look to the future, and I am hopeful with the future, but I will not be tolerating anybody who says violent things or violent threats on my channel. And anybody who sees violent threats needs to please immediately report it to YouTube. And look, here's the cycles, day and night, the world keeps turning. Balance, harmony. I'm not sure that the balance and the harmony can be restored until people who made false accusations actually withdraw them. They refuse to do so far, and they don't understand the backlash. But I think much of the backlash is because they refused to withdraw those allegations. They said Steph said she stood by them, and Sue never withdrew them. I think if they had very quickly withdrawn those allegations, people would have considered it to be an honest mistake. Manifest. Yeah. They were trying to reach an end goal, and I think they were blinded by their desire to take down another YouTuber. And, you know, I had Sue say to me, well, I don't take down YouTubers. Well, oh no, she's not into taking down YouTubers because she's never struck anyone. But it's simply not true. She struck my channel and locked it so that I couldn't do my live the next day. So I had no choice but to file the formal. This is my death card. This is usually the card that comes out when I read on crimes and somebody's been killed. So the danger is very real when people threaten violence on the internet, and that will not be tolerated, and it will be reported to YouTube, and it will be reported to local police as well. So that is not going to be tolerated. Nobody's going to get hurt over this. Not on my watch. Yeah, there's people out there. There's a lot of power struggle going on, which is very weird. There's more than enough eyeballs out there to view everybody's videos. You don't have to fight over it. And the underlying energy, the owl. Okay, the owl is all about wisdom. It's all about the energy of ancestors. It's all about doing the right thing. See this lady here with a white dress on and the white owl, living in harmony. And people say, well, why do you go on about it? You causing the trouble. I didn't cause anything. I commented on it, and people said they had apologized. I didn't believe they had. Well, I wasn't sure. I said, well, did they? Let's investigate. Let's have a look. And the apologies were actually not apologies. They never. Stef did say the word I apologize, but she said, I'm sorry if I let anybody down. So basically, she's sorry about how we reacted. She's not sorry for what she did. Yeah. People need to look at it from a different perspective. And, you know, if you make a mistake, people understand that. But if you dig your heels in, that's what causes the drama. Yeah. Some YouTubers thought that they were larger than life. This is my larger than life card. And still, I don't understand. If you've made a mistake, why not admit it? And if you don't admit it, people will judge you for it. It was very, very serious. But just because somebody else said the wrong thing on YouTube, that doesn't mean I'm going to tolerate any threats on my channel. I don't think these threats occurred on my channel, from what I can understand from the information I've been provided, but I'm not going to put up with that. Emerging into grace. So this lady having a little sleep, having a little rest there, trying to feel better. I wonder if she's got a clear conscience. Igniting courage. It took courage to stand up and make a stand against things that happened that were wrong. And look, I've said it in every single video on this. I'm not Paula M. fan. Some of her videos are absolutely outrageous. But she was falsely accused, and that I found very offensive. And then when viewers said, well, they've apologized, I thought, well, let's look into it. And the apologies, they never withdrew their statements. So, you know, we want to stand up against when Meghan and Harry say the wrong thing and do the wrong thing. When YouTubers attack another YouTuber with false accusations, people have got every right to be upset. People have got every right to question it. But nobody's got any right to threaten violence. And nobody's got any right to threaten or to encourage somebody else to self-harm. I had a friend who took his own life, and I can tell you it is absolutely devastating, absolutely beyond imagining the pain that it causes. And anybody who encourages anybody to do that, they're a wicked, vile person. for whatever reason. I don't think Sue and Stef are wicked or vile. I think they've made an error in judgment, and I don't know what kind of advice they've received. I don't know if they've taken legal advice. But if I was sitting in their shoes, I would be talking to my lawyer, just because this situation could end up before the courts. It's not a joke. But by the same token, anybody who encourages somebody to self-harm, or anybody who threatens violence, you might end up before the courts as well. So this is not about who can be the toughest or whatever it is. I don't even know what people are thinking. And I am still within my rights to talk about it, because the people who made the statements refused to withdraw them. Now, I wasn't going to talk about it anymore, accepting that this potential threat of violence or encouraging somebody to self-harm came to my attention, and I wanted to make it absolutely clear that it is in no way, shape or form acceptable, and I will be reporting you if I come across you. So thank you everybody for listening, and I hope we can move forward with it's fine to express your opinion, and it's fine if you feel you've been let down, but when you cross over into criminal activity yourself by threatening somebody with bodily harm, that is not acceptable, and that will not be tolerated. So sending everybody love and blessings, and I hope the angels walk with you.